So hi everybody and welcome back to SAS C++ tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 254 and in this video I want to talk again about AI, but this time I use the AI to try to make an intro for our next topic. And our next topic is virtual functions and we will use override. But before we go into this topic in our next video, I asked the AI that it should point out the difference about override and redefinition. So you can see here on top, I did ask this one: difference, redefinition, and override with inheritance. And then the let's say redefinition, we already talked a little bit about this. Override will be our new topic in the next video with this virtual, and the AI gave me here a little explanation and an example code. And now I want that you pause the video and check this example code if this is good or not. So for example, it is following the principles and something like that, or if you are able to understand this code. Perhaps as a beginner you don't even understand this code. So just pause the video, figure out what you think about it, and then just start the video again. And then I will continue and say what I think about it. So I continue now with this example here. So if you go through this example, I hope you realized something. And I hope you realize that this example is wrong. It is wrong. This is not good. And the wrong place is here. And it says here in a comment section, the following line will not compile because, and so on. Right? Base foo is hidden by blah, blah, blah. And this here will not compile when I would make the comments away here, right? And try to compile this line here. And that is wrong. Exactly this example I showed you, I think two videos before that video, I think, in one of my other example, exactly this example, and this is working. So I hope you figured this out. If not, no worry. Then you can rewatch it or search online why this is right. And the reason why I point this out here is we talked about AI in my last video, and I said AI can help a lot in the future, but we see AI is not really 100% trustworthy, I would say right now. With this example here, it is because it's wrong. And interestingly, I made here another test. I asked the AI here and said the AI first example is wrong, and then I pointed out what it's wrong, right? I said AI here, first example is wrong. And look what the AI then typed us. It says, you are correct, I apologize, and then it corrected it, and then it re-explained the part why it is right now. So my question is now, if the AI has a right answer here, why it is using the wrong answer here? I mean, the AI had the right answer because it could not correct itself. By the way, an AI can self-learning, that's another thing. But still, as an AI user, this could cause big problems, and the reason for that is, for example, a beginner who is trying to learn, trying to ask the AI here, try to understand code, will think that this is right, and then it will not use this, or it will tell other people that they should not use this, and that can cause big problems, right? So still, we have to learn to use the AI, and like I said in my last video, AI is beginning and AI will come in the future, has good things, has bad things, and we have to learn all this kind of stuff uh, and so on. But here it's now a good demonstration that the AI, yeah, we have to be careful. They have to improve the AI. It's not perfect. For example, like this example here. And if this is one example, that can happen more times, which means in many other fields we can present it with wrong information, which can cause big problems, can cause, yeah, we have to validate this information later on. Short answer here is, yeah, we need a validation for an AI for examples. And the funny part here is this one could be very easy validated. I mean, they could just test this code before they write. This is not compiling. And yeah, something like that. So keep this in mind when you use an AI. It can be not all-time 100% right. Interesting is it can learn that it is not right. Here it makes the same example, it redefines the same example and said now it is right. And then it even explains what it is doing and why it is doing so. Okay, that's interesting. I hope that's interesting for you too to know. But in the end, I would say if you are learning important stuff, try to find valid sources. For example, good C++ books. The best thing is, of course, what we are doing. We are trying to learn this CPP reference com site, which is a copy of the standard C++ documentation, which means we are learning the source code, source documentation later, whereas all, yeah, the original statements and what should count, what should not count, that's the best source later. Perhaps I should ask for the source code here in the AI. Perhaps that's also possible. For example, the C++ standard, what says the C++ standard for redefinition and for override. Perhaps I ask here wrong questions, but the important part is this question here, this example is wrong. We have to be careful. And that's so far for the AI, but I want to go here back to our example, and you can see exactly this AI code. Let me show you this one too, sorry, this one. I just copied then, you can copy the code here, and then I copied here in my code and I just tested, and you can see that was the line what it said it is wrong. This one here. Exactly this one, and I said okay, let's test it because I know it is not wrong, and then I just commented out this comment here, just started here, and then it worked. By the way, if you make a self-test, careful about self-test, you must be validate your test also perhaps online, and for this purpose I also checked it, for example, with this compiler explorer. So you can see I just copied here the code, entered here, and then I tested the code if it's working here. Let's see what we have here. Is that one? No, it's not. That's another thing. I tested something else. But what you do is just copy here this one again and then paste it here. And then you can see, so it works. But if this is right, what they say, you can just decompile again, make this comment. And then you can see it is still compiling, no errors here, because now it is saying still no error. Output 00 means no error. For example, if I would have here an error, let's make here something like 3, then you can see now I have an error message and something like that. So just check your code also on your IDE, but also on other IDEs and compilers. Perhaps it's just a compiler setting why it's not working, or warning or something like that. But in general, if it's working here, then it should work in other compilers as well, because they are uniform more or less. All right, with that said, there is one more thing what I want to talk, and that is that what I forgot in my redefinition. What we can do is also extend and reuse the redefinition. For example, I talked about redefinition in my video. For example, you have here a base. Let's use the example of the AI. This is the AI which created the base here. It has just here a function foo, and then it has here a class derived. It inherits public base, and it has here also the function foo. And what you can do also is, and what many do is they extend this function foo here in the derived class, because they are said this foo class here should, let's say, do all the things what it does here in the body, but it should also add more things to it. For example, anything like what I did here. And the easiest way is just to say, okay, foo call just the base foo. With other words, you could just say here base, like so, call base, colon, foo, and, oops, sorry, and this one. And if you are doing this one here, you are saying to the compiler, go to the parent, which is our base, go to the function foo, which is the foo function. So you can see this is not the foo here, careful. These are two distinguished foos. And then call it. And our reason was that we want just use what it's in here, and then we extend it with that what we have here. And when we start this kind of stuff, we can see I called now foo from here on top, then I called here the foo here, and then base foo. So for example, this kind of stuff. All right, I think that's not too difficult to extend it. So we just extended this one here, right? So you can see here in this one, I created here derived d, first an object, then I called d foo, that was for this one here, and then I called d base foo. What is with this? When we go here to d base and foo, which is calling just the base foo here on top. And if I go rid of this one to show you that one, let's see. So now I call just make a d and a foo object, and here you can see I call here the derived version, which is this one here. It's a derived version because I create d foo, and here the derived version is going to base foo, which is this one, execute what's in the base class body, and then it coming back and execute what's in our normal, and that is extending the foo class here. Just as an info, I hope it's not too difficult. It's very easy, but very useful. So I think that's it for this little video. And like I said, in our next video, we will continue with the real topic, which will be virtual functions. Let me show you this too. We have talked about the keyword virtual, but careful, we talked about a virtual base class specifier. That was the class specifier. That was the thing here on top, an inheritance, right? Where we inherit. That's not the body of the function. That is how we inherit this one. And the next time we will talk about virtual base. Oops, not this. Oops, sorry. We talk about virtual function specifier. This kind of stuff you see a lot in inheritance. Most time, many people use this one here. It starts with virtual, and then you will also see sometimes this word override and all what this means. We have to talk. And important here is just again back to our AI example. Important is many people who use inheritance use this virtual functions a lot, but they forget about this redefinition. The redefinition we have talked a little bit in one of my other videos, but you will see that many people who use functions in inheritance, they are most time using this virtual functions, this override, this kind of stuff. You will see a lot in classes, in structs, and it's a very big important topic. So with that said, see you in the next video, and if you have questions like all time, write in the comment section. See you there. Bye, good luck, and like all time, have fun and a very good bye.